Has your back pain been stopping you from practicing yoga or enjoying other activities? I've suffered from chronic back pain my entire adult life due to a condition called spinal stenosis, which is a narrowing of the spinal canal. I know how frustrating managing back pain feels. Sometimes it's like 1 step forward and 5 steps back. One thing that I've learned over the years is that the best thing you can do for yourself is to figure out what movements are triggering the pain and avoid them. Yoga can be tricky because we move our body in all different directions, so sometimes it's hard to know which pose is bothering us. But that's where I come in. I have bulletproofed this sequence by only letting in postures that are going to help you and avoiding all the ones that might harm you. Today's class focuses on promoting spine mobility, strengthening the muscles that support your spine, and gently stretching target muscles to relieve tension, especially in the low back. With easy-to-follow stretches and strengthening poses, you'll be able to gently move and improve your back health over time. We'll get started on our backs. If you have props, have a strap and a block within arm's reach. We'll start by just centering for a couple of moments here. And I want you to bring your knees together, feet as wide as the mat. You can place your left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. Close down your eyes. Take a deep inhale in through your nose. Exhale, you can sigh out through your mouth. Just continue to breathe gently here. It's important when we start any kind of practice, especially ones that are healing, to trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, that part of our nervous system that promotes feelings of calmness, so that our body knows it's safe to proceed. So just enjoy this quiet moment here. You can focus on your breath, feeling the sensations of the floor underneath you. Just visualizing and imagining a vibrant, healthy, mobile spine. You can send radiant, white healing light, imagining it traveling up and down the spine here. Take one more mindful breath. And gently blink open your eyes. Heel toe your feet so they're hips distance. Knees will stack over your ankles. If you have a strap, you can do this without the strap. I'll show you how. Place the strap around your foot and then straighten your leg. And we're just getting a static hamstring stretch now. If you didn't have the strap, you could have your hands behind your thigh here. So either way, if you're using the strap, pull the strap in towards your body as you push the sole of the foot away. And if you're using your hands behind your thigh, same idea. Press your thigh into your hands, hands into your thigh. So as we're healing any back pain, we don't want or need to go too deep, right? This is not about increasing your flexibility necessarily. This is about retraining your body, getting your body in pain-free mode. Take one more breath. Okay, bend your leg, release the strap or the hands, and we'll just switch sides. So left leg bends, using the strap or the hands behind your leg, we'll begin to straighten the leg. And again, if your leg is straight down here, that's where your leg is, it's just fine. Just feel a nice stretch behind the thigh here and the hamstrings. As your foot is flexed, you're stretching your calf and Achilles heel as well. But again, we don't want to go too deep because we don't want to pull at those low back muscles or pull at the spine. Okay, we will release. You can set your strap aside. We'll come to a figure 4 position with the right leg here. Take a moment to just get this position here and widen the right knee to the right. And then we'll lift up and thread our hands through. You could use your strap through here if it was not easy to grab the thigh, and breathe. So getting into those deep glute muscles here, the piriformis, which can also, if it's really tight, squeezes a nerve bundle there, so that can often cause sciatica. Just breathing, keeping your upper body, your jaw relaxed. Release your hands, listen up. We'll heel toe the left foot to the left and allow your knees to drop to the right here. And if this is too intense, you can slide the right foot off. We're getting into our SI joint here. So this is a great stretch if you ever experience any SI joint discomfort. Again, just trying to keep your breath nice and easy. And as we do any movement, remember we want to avoid pain. So if anything is triggering pain, just want you to skip it out. Okay, let's lift on up, bring the foot back, and we'll switch sides. So taking our figure 4, take a moment to widen the knee by using your muscles, and then we'll thread the hand behind or use your strap behind your right leg. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed, your jaw relaxed. If any stretch is triggering pain, try to not go as deep, and then if it's still doing it, then just avoid the stretch. You will feel tension, you will feel something, right? Because we're stretching our muscles and putting them under tension. Okay, let's release. Heel toe your right foot to the right. The knees go to the left. Deep breaths. Feel in your body the sensations. One of the most important things, I think, with managing and navigating healing and pain is understanding the signals our body is giving us and then responding with compassion to them rather than resistance or fear. Let's lift up, unhook. Great, and we'll start with some gentle bridge lifts here. As you lift your hips up, squeeze your glutes, and we'll lift the arms up as well. And then set everything back down. Lift up, squeeze the glutes, and set back down. Press your feet into the mat as you lift your hips up by engaging your glutes and back down. And keep it going, lift up and back down. Lift up, squeeze the glutes, and down. 2 more here. Lifting up. Getting some spinal extension now. Having strong glutes can really help with our low back pain in particular. Okay, if you have a block or really any kind of object that you can put in between your knees, grab that. And if you don't have it, you'll still do our bridge pose. So we'll take a static hold now. Press the backs of your arms into the mat. See if you could lift your chest without lifting your pelvis. So we're getting into the thoracic spine here. Now press your feet into the mat. I want you to squeeze the block like crazy. You'll feel your adductors fire off. And now lift the hips up. So we want to employ other muscle groups to take the responsibility out of the low back to do all the work here. That's why we're calling on our adductors and a little bit more mobility in our thoracic spine to come into this pose. Of course, glutes working as well. As you release, keep squeezing the block. Stay nice and engaged, and then we'll take a brief little rest and we'll do one more. So again, if you have your block or any prop, set it in between the knees, press the backs of the arms, open the chest, press down through your feet, squeeze the block, lift the chest, lift the hips, Remember, we want to be pain-free, so only going as deep as feels good. And release the hips back down. Set the block aside. Roll to either side. Use the top arm to push yourself up and meet me in a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We'll take some cat-cows. As you extend your spine, tilt your pelvis forward, bring your shoulder blades in, and gaze upward. As you exhale, push the floor away with your hands, tuck the pelvis under, draw your chin into your chest, and feel your back body stretch. Continue on, moving through extension and flexion. Follow your breath, inhaling into our cow position, and exhale into the cat. Nice gentle movements, only going as much as feels good. Your spine is a series of facet joints, so it's important to do our best to mobilize them. One more. Walk your hands back, come to sit on your heels. You can also prop yourself up on your block. Inhale, big sweep of your arms up. Nice gentle side bend to the right. So the right hand comes down, left arm sweeps up and over. Breathe. Inhale, arms reach up, and exhale, switch. Nice and easy side bend. Stretching those low back muscles. Inhale up. Let's return back to our tabletop. Curl your right toes under, push the floor away, get a nice neutral spine, lift the right leg just so it's in line with the hip, and we'll flex the foot here. Weight shifts to your right hand as you stretch your left arm forward. So this is balancing tabletop. If you feel a little wobbly here, you can curl your left toes under. If your left knee hurts, you can pad it with that blanket you have. And we're holding in our balancing tabletop, building strength here in the back muscles. Try to find a nice long neutral spine here. And release the left hand and the right knee, and we'll switch. Left leg stretches behind us. Reach the leg up. We'll flex the foot and reach your right arm forward. Neck nice and long, so you're gazing down a little bit forward of your hands. Try not to extend your spine here. And we'll release. We'll add on now. So right toes curl under, lift the leg, lift the left arm. Foot is flexed. We'll tap down the hand and the foot and then lift back up. Tap down and lift. Tap and lift. Good. Keep working. So gently strengthening our back muscles to better support our spine. And release, and we'll switch sides. Left leg straightens, right arm reaches, lift up, foot is flexed, and tap down. Up, down, up, down. Little movement, but building deep strength. 2 more. Release. Just come off your hands to rest those hands a moment. You can massage the wrist. We'll take one more exercise in our tabletop. So when you're ready, return to tabletop. The right leg will stretch. We'll lift it up and now cross it over to the left. And you can rock a little bit back and forth. So we're getting into a side bend stretch again stretching those low back muscles, but we'll also use this to strengthen as well. So we'll do these little kind of half mini circles over and back and over and back. Really small movements. Any exercise that's bothering you, you're just going to skip it out. And release. Straighten our left leg, lift the foot up, cross it over to the right, pull the heel back for a nice stretch here. And then we'll start to lift up and tap and back. You'll notice I'm not doing very big movements here. I'm going just as much as I need to strengthen my back without triggering any pain. One more. And release. We'll lie on our belly now in what's called crocodile pose. And for someone who doesn't experience back pain, they might think this is really easy, but those of you following along the video who are in back pain or have been in back pain or recovering from surgery or something probably know that something that looks as simple as crocodile pose, so I've got my forearms stacked, forehead on top of the forearm, can be just the right dose of extension in the spine that we need. So just breathing here in a gentle back bend. Send those signals to your nervous system that you're safe by lengthening your breath. Breathe in and out through your nose. If you want to amp up this position, you can take the alternative Sphinx pose, being on your forearms. That will increase the extension in your back. Inhale, lift up, and come onto your right hip. We'll work on some clamshells. So you want to make sure you can be up on your forearm or you can lay all the way down. And you want to make sure that your shoulders, hips, and feet are all on the same line. And from here, we'll lift our left knee and set it down. So we're working our glute medius muscle, which often gets weak, especially when we have low back pain. And again, you'll notice I'm not lifting very high, right? So this isn't a big movement. This is a micro movement. Your gluteus medius muscle isn't that big of a muscle. It kind of wraps around the side of the hip. And when we externally rotate the leg, it shortens. So we're just using this muscle. Now, if you want to amp this pose up and work also your obliques, you'll take this version and doing about 20 reps if you're taking the one on the hip lying down, and 10 if you're taking the one in your forearm plank. Okay, let's switch sides. So coming on to our left hip, I like to lay all the way down here so I can really just focus on working this muscle. Shoulders, hips, feet are in the same line. Lift the knee. Little baby movements here. Just feeling that muscle working, strengthening. All the while your pelvis is nice and stable. Couple more. And we'll release. Come on up for some oblique and core strengthening. So we'll start in a forearm side plank on the right side. You can stack your left foot on top, okay, and that will make sense in a moment. So you're on your right hip, your left foot is stacked in front rather, and you're on your right forearm. Bring your left hand to your hip and lift up. So we're lifting up. If you need to modify this pose, you can bring your right knee down as shown here. Holding for about 10 seconds, and then we'll move through forearm plank, the feet swivel here, and holding just for a few seconds. Your knees can always be down if needed, and then come into your second side. So your right leg is on top. You can take the modification as shown above. Holding. Come back through to your forearm plank for about 3 seconds, and then switch sides. Back through to your forearm plank, nice and strong, and switch. Keep the bottom hip lifting up, strengthening the glute medius as well as your obliques. All the muscles we need here, again, to support your spine. Come on back around, and we'll take one more round. So we're doing 3 here, 3 rounds, lift up, nice and strong. Come back, and swivel to the other side. Hold, almost done, stay with me. And back, bring your knees down, walk your hands back. Meet me on your seat, and here's where we'll use our blanket, and you might want to have your strap handy as well. So we'll come into a very gentle forward fold. So remember, we don't want to go too deep right now. So I'm going to ask you to bend your knees gently. Use a strap, if you have one, around the soles of the feet, and prop yourself up on this blanket and tilt your pelvis forward. When you tilt your pelvis forward, if you're tight, and especially if you have low back pain, those knees are going to want to bend, so let them bend here. And it might not feel like we're doing much of a forward fold, okay, I get it, but we want to still move the body, but we have to do it in a pain-free range. So you can pull the strap in towards your sternum, lengthen your spine, take a deep inhale. Exhale, maybe a gentle fold over. So you can see I'm not going deep, I'm not forcing my body. Soften the grip if you're holding the strap. You don't have to use a strap, you can have your hands down. And we're keeping the knees bent so we can really get this forward tilt of the pelvis. As we take a gentle fold here, we don't want to fold too deep because the weight of our head are really going to pull on those back muscles, which is great. We want to stretch them, but not too much. We don't want to pull anything or trigger any pain. One more breath. And on your next inhale, we'll lift on up. You can set your strap aside, and we'll close in a seated posture. So again, I would sit up on your blanket. You can stay wherever you are on your mat here, and just get nice and long and tall in your spine. On an inhale, sweep your arms up, and as you exhale, just a gentle twist to the right. Just let your spine rotate where it's naturally going to rotate in this moment. Inhale, lift your arms up, and exhale, switch sides. Inhale, lift your arms up, and exhale, we'll release the hands. I hope you enjoyed this gentle yoga class focused on relieving back tension and promoting a healthy spine routine. This is a routine that you could practice daily. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments or want to share your own back pain story with me and the community below. I'll see you in the next video.